We're joined now by Leon Hady, a former head teacher who now runs online school courses. Morning to you. Thank you very much for talking to us this morning. I know you've been talking to parents and you've been taking a look at kind of what schools can do. What's the plan at the moment?
The plan in general is for schools to continue the good work that they've been doing towards the end of last term. We've got a lot of different measures in place that will allow the safe movement of children around. And also with regards to communicating the transport concerns that parents are having, a lot of schools are putting information up on their website. Councils are doing the same as well. So parents should be very assured that there's going to be a really strong, structured set of routines in place to help with their child, on top of what parents obviously themselves can do too.
What are they asking? What are they concerned about?
They're really looking to protect themselves and their children. They're wondering what the schedules are going to be. They're wondering how we're going to know who's got what are we going to do in the event of an outbreak, etc. They're wondering as well what's going to happen in terms of if my child's ill. So there's lots of different varying questions that are coming. The ones that are really pinpointed towards transport are really about the logistics. How do we know what time we're going to get? Buses obviously school councils, etc., working together to put on more buses. As you heard there in your piece, private buses. Some councils are encouraging walking buses so that parents can actually have more control if they live within an area that they can walk to. There's also students with special educational needs. Some councils now are offering parents an incentive, or at least per mile incentive, to actually take their children to school. So there's lots and lots of different solutions to these different problems, and a lot of parents are being reassured by that.
There are also a lot of parents who are concerned as well. So how is that reassurance being communicated? Because up until now, I mean, it all feels as if, the schools are, frantically is the wrong word, but, really intensely putting in new adaptations.
Well, schools have been doing this for quite a few months now, and over the summer break, it would have been the best time for them to actually put in more measures. So I can assure all parents that virtually every school in the country is going to have some really, really strong measures when they get back. The other thing to do, and you have to remember just the time we live in, the government has put £40 million into a campaign to assure people about what's going on transport and that parents will be safe and kids will be safe. But one of the things, because we have so many different ways of accessing news and information and media, it's actually a lot harder to reach people with an advert than it used to be.
What would you, excuse me, what would you say to a parent who, say, for a child is going to secondary school for the first time and is now facing different travel arrangements, having to wear masks in corridors, and add to all of that, and I remember it well, entering secondary school and it being huge and petrifying just in normal times? What would you say to a parent in order to reassure that child?
I think the first thing that any parent will want to do is, before any of that happens, to actually have the conversations with their child and to actually to know that this isn't going to be something that's going to abate or recede on the first day. This is going to be something more than any other year where the actual well-being of the child, tracking them over the first 3 weeks, a month, is going to be really, really important. So it's really important for the parent to actually have some kind of exercise, routines, conversations with their child over this coming week to make sure that they know things are going to be different. Now, while I completely take you to your point there, we're saying it is very intimidating on the first day. If they've been anywhere recently, they are going to have been used to the idea there's reduced numbers. They are going to have been used to the idea that there's more selective spacing. They are going to be used to the idea that people are wearing masks. So in a strange way, there's going to be something a little more familiar, because the rest of the country and every institution that we go into is going to be handling the coronavirus in the same way. So there will be some familiarity there, which actually, ironically, would be somewhat of a bridge.
Leon Hady, thank you so much, former head teacher now running online school courses, for taking us through that.
Thank you.
Time now is 8:23.